IFL, welcome to Rippin' and Tearin' 43, a very special Fuck Your Face production brought to you by Dirty Bird yeah! Drink Break! I could have edited that out, but hey, fuck it, it fits. Dirty Bird Studios! So, this is a division ranking show. I've been working on this show for about 2 fucking months. You're like, well, what have you been fucking doing? Well, I've been working on this fucking show during my spare time. I've been fucking dealing with baby fucking lawyers. And I've been fucking drinking beer. I mean, what else fucking would El Raven be doing? Okay? Don't worry about what I've been doing. Worry about what you've been doing, because you're about to be put on blast. So, here's the deal. I'm not giving out records, and I'm not fucking naming fucking wild cards. You're gonna have to tune into the Rippin' and Tearin' kickoff show in less than 2 fucking weeks. We'll do 32 predictions for 32 teams. But I am gonna go ahead and let you know that whoever's number 1 in each division is my pick for division motherfucking champion of that particular division. So, if you're on the outside looking in, just know that some of these goddamn divisions are so fucking tight. So tight. For example, the AFC West. I mean, that is a super tight fucking division. Something could happen in the next couple of weeks. Could go ahead and fucking change it. I'll fucking give a disclaimer right now. You might be number 1, you might be my pick, and then it might be the curse of the fucking Raven. Too fucking bad. You guys better have a bunch of fucking beer next to you. Co-hosting with me today is a gentleman who has never been on Rippin' and Tearin', which is fucking mind-blowing because he's been around since the very first one, okay? And I do want you to pay attention to the special fucking green screen I have behind me. Look at that. That's fucking graphics, dude. Where the fuck is Lewis? Where is Lewis? Where's Lewis's replacement? You know what? Honestly, Lewis, I hope you're watching this, but I want you to fuck your face, okay? So, if you've been watching my show, you know that's not really an insult. That's just how I say hi. Alright, wait. Let's quit wasting fucking time. Let's roll this bitch. IFL, it is my extreme fucking pleasure at this time to welcome to the Ravens' nest for the first time ever in 43 fucking shows, which is absolutely fucking asinine. Nils, Carolina Nils. Nils, welcome to Rippin' and Tearin', bro.
Matt, I thought you had a personal vendetta against me because I have not been on this show over 43 episodes, and I am dead set to get this shit popping, like my headband wrapped, and I'm ready to go.
So, I want to start with my number fucking 4 team, which is gonna be the Ireland-led Oakland Prendos. You know, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, dude. It seems like his plans changed a fucking couple times over the course of the fucking off season. There was one point where I was like, damn, dude, this guy's got a fucking beater fucking offense. Like, he's gonna score some fucking points some weeks. And then he just fucking blew it up, dude. Like, he's got a couple of fucking nice pieces on D. I mean, you can't go ahead and get away from fucking Collins and a couple of his linebackers, but it's easily, and I mean fucking easily, one of the worst in the AFC fucking period. His schedule's soft, and I feel like it's going to give him false fucking hope, but the fact that he has no fucking picks the fucking next 2 years, it's going to be pretty fucking uphill. So I've got Oakland Prendo as my number 4 team in the AFC West.
I have to agree with you here. My fellow Irishman has a lot of trouble on his team, and I don't know what he's going to be doing. He, like you said, he changes his mind way too often. I have it under good authority that this gentleman is trying to move one of his stud players to get back into the draft next year, which seems a little counteractive because I think he moved some of those picks to get stronger this year already. So I don't know if he knows what he's doing. His defense, like you said, is severely lacking, especially on the D line. Linebackers are okay. It's hard. I don't think it's going to be good for the potato farmer this year.
You know, that's kind of fucking interesting, dude, because I've hit him up for some of his key fucking players this year, dude, and he's been like, no, man, like, I'm going to win. And I'm just like, you're not winning shit. And he goes on fucking Luke's show and talks to me about fucking rose-colored glasses. Hey, fuck your face, Prendo. All right, number fucking 3 for me in the AFC fucking West. And this is gonna raise some fucking eyebrows, dude, but it's fucking Denver Lewis. And it's for the following reasons. A, he's a lame duck GM. So if you don't know, you should fucking know. Lewis is on his way out. He's going to play out this year, and then he's done. And so trading with him is going to be fucking lame, okay? Because there isn't going to be any, because there never was any, okay? The next problem is that he does have fucking horrible fucking trade valuations. His trade valuations are the fucking worst, next to that asshole in Indianapolis. His defense is shit. His defense is shit. I'm sorry, but his defense is shit. He doesn't have an overly brutal first place schedule, which is kind of fucking surprising. Early on, his matchups with Tennessee and fucking Miami are the highlights. He doesn't have DJ on week 8 versus Miami, and he doesn't have Julio versus Tennessee week 5. So I'm just going to count those as fucking L's right there. And then ultimately, if DJ goes down, he's fucked. And I want to add one more thing that I feel like Matt Stafford is going to die behind that line. So I've got Denver Lewis at 3.
As you said, Denver is, Lewis is not a good GM. He has not participated well. He's going to be leaving soon. David Johnson goes down, and this team is one of the worst, I think, in the league. It's just, Julio is a saving grace. Nook, is he going to come back? I don't know. We'll have to see. Linebackers are awful, awful. Avery Williamson is your linebacker 1. That is an issue. Honestly, between Lewis and Oakland, I wouldn't be surprised if they're both, 3 5-win teams. It's not going to be good.
fucking 3 wins. Okay, I don't fucking have Lewis that bad, dude. I mean, he's got too much on that team, but that's I hear you. My number one team in the fucking AFC West is the Kansas City Chiefs. But I've got a few fucking issues with Curtis. Okay? First, you need to fucking pick a goddamn QB and trade the other one to put yourself over the top. I don't believe you. I don't believe him when he says that he only wants the fucking number one pick, because being shit forever still makes you shit. So trade the fucking QB you don't like and make a fucking run, because this team, especially with fucking some shit that's happened in the last couple of fucking weeks. I mean, with Paws all of a sudden being fucking playable middle linebacker, and BJ Goodson being said that he's going to be a fucking 3-down linebacker. You have a legitimate shot, Kurt. Quit fucking around. The other thing that I feel separates him, because I do not feel there's a big separation between him and the 2 and the 3, is the fact that his defense, which I just talked about, fucking separates him from the rest of the West. He has incredible defensive end depth. The problem is that he has too much fucking defensive end depth. He needs to fucking move some of that to put himself over the top. And I don't know if Kurt fucking, he's always valuating. I never know the valuations. Well, fuck you, learn them. All right? And the final thing that puts him at the number one slot for me is his favorable fucking schedule, especially early on. Kurt could fucking start 5-1 very, very easily. He is going to have to really, really work to go ahead and be fucking 500, which I think it's very possible. And obviously coming in at number 2, I've got Los Angeles Decker, which might surprise some of the guys in the IFL, but the fact is that Decker has a soft last place schedule that plays to his favor as he brings the hamster back from fucking suspension. His linebacking core is a fucking mess after the offseason, which is fucking mind-blowing because he had one of the best goddamn linebacking cores in the entire league. I cannot believe that you traded Kirksey to goddamn fucking Pittsburgh Spencer, who was too busy having a baby to go ahead and even realize he needed a linebacker, for 2 fucking young assholes, one who's dead and the other one who's a plotter. What the fuck, man? And honestly, dude, you still have some intriguing rookies on defense with Fosters and Peppers and Adams, and God, Barnett, so fucking good. The reason why I've got Decker at 2 is his willingness to deal gives him a puncher's fucking chance in the AFC.
All right, Matt. Again, we're on the same page here, but I think it's pretty damn close, and it's going to be decided by Decker's youth and whether or not it shows up this year. But I'll start with Kurt and what I feel about that team. I will echo what you said. He's got to trade one of those fucking quarterbacks. I told him that, and I don't know whose show I was on. I think it was Lucas's show. I fucking said it. Trade one of them. Why do you have both of them? It's just stupid. You have another player on offense, another linebacker, get somebody. He could end the season with 300-point players. It's a strong offense. His like you said, ends are stacked. Again, trade some. You have 5. Why? You can only start 2. It's silly. Trade them. Kurt, you trade some. You got this division in the bag. Decker, now, because he does trade, if he even packages some of these players together right now, he's got a ton of depth, ton of youth, ton of upside. He could package a couple players together and get a couple more players. He could pass Kurt easily in my eyes. It's, there's a lot, like you said, his linebackers, though, after he traded Hightower, he says Hightower wasn't worth shit. I don't know. I think Hightower was going to at least put up 220 points. Again, he's injured right now, so maybe it won't come back to bite Decker in the ass. But I don't know. I would have liked to at least had him on the team when there's a decent amount of question marks at linebacker for him already with Jalen Smith. Thomas Davis, no word if he's going to actually play 3 downs again this year. Ramik Wilson could be a 3-down player, but like I said, a lot of youth on this team. If they hit, Decker is a strong candidate to take down Kurt this year, but I usually favor against youth, so I'm going with Kansas City.
I'm just going to start at the fucking bottom. I'm going to start with Detroit motherfucking Russell at 4. He takes over this team, and my first fucking question when I was looking at his roster was this team that fucking bad when he took over? Like, I know that he had fucking a ton of fucking draft picks, and I felt like he was taking over a team that finished in last place, but hello, from someone in that position, I don't feel like that's the fucking end of the world. So what happened to all those fucking draft picks? On the flip side, if his two fucking Coreys can fucking get it together, he's gonna have a fucking solid wide receiver foundation. Now, on the flip side of that, Blunt is going to fucking bust.
I agree.
Blunt is not going to be any fucking good in Philly. Perkins is shit, and Mack was fucking overhyped. Now, the fucking linebacking core is a fucking mess. Is a mess. Woo! Drink break, RnT!
Yes, I'm with you again here, Detroit, Russell. Listen, just as you said, he took over a team that, while it didn't perform last year, it had a solid foundation, ample amounts of pick. 60, I think he had 60, 70 million in cap space at the time. You know, he could have gone into this auction and this draft and came out as a favorite in this division. It wasn't that strong last year, and to be honest, it's still not that strong. So his moves were questionable. Spending 16 million on Blunt, like you said, I don't think he scores 250 this year. Perkins, Peterson, these are all guys that decent ceilings, low floors. Woodhead might be his best running back this year. Your best linebacker is Deion Buchanan, and he might not even start the year. Safeties are atrocious. I don't know. I just don't know what Russell was thinking. He does not value well in trades, just as you said some other folk in the AFC does. Whenever I talk to him, he's completely on the other side of the world from where I'm looking, so I don't even follow through.
Yeah, he's gonna have to understand how things work in the boys' club, dude.
Exactly. He has no
All
idea.
right, dude. No, he doesn't, dude. And fucking, a lot of guys into this format don't, and that's okay. But at my number 3 spot, dude, I've got Minnesota Wade. And I actually feel pretty positive about Wade's team. I mean, he was a bottom feeder team last year, so he had a very rough year. But his team's trending in the right fucking direction. His schedule is last place, which is going to inflate his win total. And I think that he needs to be very fucking cautious about that. Very fucking cautious. Don't buy into the hype of 2017. The loss of Perryman really hurt his fucking rebuilding roster. I felt bad for him when I found out who owned him over there, dude. I was like, fuck, that fucking sucks. Because he doesn't need any more fucking walls standing in his way. But I do feel like he had a good rookie draft and that his rookies could add a late season surge, but it's definitely going to be another year before Wade is in contention for the NFC North, which was a very winnable fucking division, but I think that there were so many mistakes made early on that it just kind of compounded the problem.
On this side, it might be a bit of a surprise, but I have Chicago Nick, and listen,
the manatee!
This fucking guy, look, he was one of my favorites. What he did this off-season was beautiful. It was amazing. And then the auction happened, and he paid $10 million, $15 million to a bunch of backups on offense, and did not fix his holes. No defensive tackle. He thinks that Emmanuel Ogba is going to be his saving grace at defensive end. I think he is going to have trouble there behind Brandon Graham. Crick is hurt. He was a solid floor play. Safeties, he's got one. I mean, Jamal Adams, let's see what happens. He might get a lot of tackles on the Jets, but he's also dealing with lingering injuries. Cyprian should still be a stud. Linebackers are fantastic, but he did not capitalize on his position, and I think it left him behind. His quarterbacks, Cutler and Hoyer. Cutler is going to get injured, and Hoyer may not finish the year. He's going to have no quarterback by midseason. He wanted to get Pierre Garçon, which I think Pierre Garçon is going to be a good player. But $6.66 million on Pierre Garçon to be a backup was silly. A second backup. I mean, he already had Cobb as a first backup, and then you got to get Garçon. You got Ted Ginn. You've got solid players. You wasted your money. Oh, and he's got Golden Tate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a symptom of not trading for the player and going, oh, I got all this money going into fucking free agency. Free agency is a shit show. It's always a shit show. It's always going to be a shit show. For everyone fucking listening that doesn't fucking get it. Leave a fucking note in your outbox, Lewis. Obviously, I did not have Nick at 3. To win the North this year, I've got Greenberry. To me, there is zero fucking doubt that he has the softest first place schedule. And it's fucking super lucky for his ass. Because I want to know how far he's going to go with Alex Smith and Doofus fucking Manning at his goddamn quarterbacks. I mean, holy shit. If Nick's got fucking problems, then Barry's got fucking just as equal of problems, dude. But his starting 5 is fucking solid. Behind it, it's kind of a fucking nightmare. But in this division, I think it's going to be enough. And what I really feel about Barry, the difference between Barry and everybody else in his division, is that his D separates him. It's good enough to get your fucking 4th straight fucking division title or 3rd straight division title. But I got to ask you, Barry, when do you fucking take the next step? Like, yeah, I just said a little while ago winning division titles matters, and it does. But when are you going to take the next step as a GM? Because a guy like Luke, who was fucking nobody but a loudmouth, and I know about loudmouths, fucking jumped you last year. And so here you are. And I will say this. You made a nice trade with Nils. I like that fucking trade. I like what Nils got, and I like what you got. But when do you take the next step? And you're not going to do it with fucking Alex Smith and Manning. Now, on the flip side of that, you got fucking Chicago Nick, who I thought fucking Green Bay's situation at quarterback was bad. Cutler and Hoyer, holy shit. Nils, you touched on it. It's fucking horrible. It's going to devastate you all year. Lucky for you, you've got a solid fucking linebacking core, and it's the core of your fucking team. And you better figure out a way to trade one of those fucking guys for a decent starting fucking quarterback. Because Cutler isn't going to make it 8 fucking games, and Hoyer ain't going to make it 4. This division was ripe for the taking, and you just didn't execute, Nick. You didn't fucking execute, you manatee motherfucker.
All right, here we go. We got at number 1, I have to agree, Green Bay. Barry is, look, he's got Green, Bryant, Evans, and Michael Thomas. Those are 4 of the top 10 wide receivers. I would love to have those guys.
He traded away Diggs. Made no sense.
Oh my God! If he did not trade away Diggs right now, he would be leaps and bounds the favorite in this division. It wouldn't even be close. And I don't know. Right now he's going to be rolling with Cole Beasley or James White as his number 5 guy. And
oh my God!
You know, look, if one of those wide receivers, those 4 wide receivers goes down, he's in a lot of trouble. And that's one reason I am not super high on Barry this year. Now, like you said, his trade with me, I think it was perfect for both of us. He got a linebacker. He now has 4 starting solid linebackers. Don't know if any of them are going to be elite. Telvin is going to lose some more tackles with Church in town, and you got Paz. Foster should be a good start. David hopefully scores a little bit more points this year as he adjusts to his new role. I like what Barry's got. His safeties are amazing. You know, 2 of the top 5 safeties, probably the top 2 in my eyes. And Barry, if he can make another deal like he did with me and solidify a 5th starter on offense, I don't see anybody coming close to Barry this year in the North. Now, I'll go and talk about my boy Wade.
Wow.
Listen, Wade is my number 2.
Wow!
I like to surprise people, and I really feel, you know, even with Wade lost Perryman, and it hurts, and it definitely hurts him. But I think he has a decent enough linebacking core that he will be able to piece together good weeks. You know, Trevathan, if he comes back strong, he's going to be fine. That's a top starter that you can have. Miller is, you know, he's going to be sack dependent, but sack dependent can lead to big weeks, and as long as he hits them when he needs them, it's going to be fine. Defensive ends are good. Offense could have 3 300-point players if, you know, he's got the whole backfield for Detroit and Seattle, so whatever he's got there is going to do good. Miller could lose some snaps to Foreman, maybe, but I still think he's going to be a 300-point player this year. I like his team. I like Wade's team, and Wade makes a lot of trades. He's very active. He's easy to deal with, unlike Nick, which is another reason why I think Wade is going to do better this year. Because Wade has good chemistry with the other owners, and he's going to make another move that's going to help put him on top before the season starts.
Sorry to disappoint you, Rashid, but your nuclear device has been disarmed.
But I'm going to start at my number 4, Nils, and that's Washington Bryant. And when I look at Bryant's starting fucking 5, I see solid. I see Jay Ajayi, Tyreek Hill, Bryant, D-Jax, and Hopkins. Now, despite being a volatile bunch, they are a group that are worthy of fucking starting. They're going to go ahead and help him win some fucking weeks. But behind that, there's not a ton. And his linebacking core took a fucking hit that it absolutely 100%. His linebacking core could not afford Jack being moved back to strong side linebacker, which we'd just been talking about Jack the other day. And I understand Jack's going to be a 3-down linebacker, but on the strong side, he's really going to have a shit ton of tackles on pass defense / interceptions to really be a fucking solid, viable play. And so what does that exactly mean for his fantasy football perspective? Now, in our scoring system, he might be solid if they fucking run at him and they don't believe in him because they don't want to run it fucking Tevin. But I'm waiting to see as a Jack owner. The Donald position switch / holdout, real life fucking holdout, is really brutal for him as it is for another owner in the AFC. The loss of fucking Hyder makes this one of the worst fucking defensive end groups I see in the entire fucking IFL. The entire fucking league. His DE group is grim. And then to go ahead and finish off, dude, after the first 3 weeks, his fucking schedule is fucking brutal with matches against Miami, Tampa Bay, Carolina, yourself, New Orleans, and Buffalo. That's just not something that a bottom feeder team needs. We need a soft schedule to rebuild our confidence, cup our balls, and make us fucking feel a little better about being in this fucking league.
I'm agreeing here. Washington Bryant is definitely in this position. His defense is my main reasoning. I mean, defensive end, like you said, touched on. If Aaron Donald holds out, I think it's unlikely, but if he does, he is hurting. And he's already hurting as is because we have no idea how Aaron is going to transition to defensive end after playing defensive tackle primarily. I think he's still going to be a solid play, but it could be tough for him. His defensive tackle, who is he starting? Who's he starting? Adolphus Washington and Cornelius Carradine. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. He didn't pick up a single. There's still guys on waivers right now that could start and be better than those defensive tackles. Another big question mark from Brian this offseason, has been Dorial Green Beckham was dropped. And he did not use that timing to eliminate his investment into him for the next 2 years at $7.7 million.
He could get fucking 40% of that salary today if he fucking drops him. That dude is never going to be worth the $7 million contract. Cut his fucking ass right now. My number 3 team in the NFC East is New York D. Jordan. My first question when I was fucking reviewing his goddamn roster was, Jordan, is it by accident that your offense is 75% NFC East? I mean, that just fucking screams lazy, dude. I also think that the Rams are going to be really, really bad. And I have huge question marks about fucking Gurley. Like, huge. On the defensive side, it's okay. You got guys like Deion Jones, who most fucking teams would love to have. You got Oliver Vernon, and you got Reddick. Beyond that, there's not a ton of fucking depth.
Again, we're on the same page here. D. Jordan, all right, I'd like to touch base with the fact that it is very close between these three. And it's going to be fun doing the next two. It's going to be fun doing D. Jordan. But this is one of the tightest divisions in the league. And D. Jordan is only at number 3 because of a couple issues One being his depth at linebacker. I think he has 3 starters. Craig Robertson could have another out of nowhere season. They added so many linebackers in New Orleans, though. I think he's going to be tough to repeat a 230-point performance. His offense, if Gurley returns to form, if Gurley can be a 400-point player again, D. Jordan can easily win the division, and I think that's where it hinges. And
Do you really believe that?
I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't. But I think that if Gurley can perform, because look, he's got Travis Kelce, he's got Jimmy Graham. Those are 300-point players at the least. Gurley, if he hits 400 points, that's one of the top. That's a top offense. I mean, Crowder, I like a lot. I think he's going to score a little bit more than 238 this year. He needs to trade and add another offensive player, though. Tavon Austin is not looking good. He took on a lot of cap with that move. I didn't like it. Yeah, D. Jordan has he has more holes than the other 2 teams at this point that I think he's going to be lagging behind at the 3.
I see Dallas Bryan as the repeat champion of the NFC East. But here is why I feel that way, Nils, because I didn't hear you. I heard you. You fucking grunted or passed a kidney stone. All right? All right. First, Dallas Bryan's first place fucking schedule is obviously going to make it harder for him this year than it was last year. We said all fucking year that he was a paper fucking tiger. And so when Luke said in his write-up about my particular team that he felt like I could be a one and done, the first thing I thought of was fucking Dallas Bryan. And it's true. The difference is that was year 1 and I was the fucking last face fucking team. So it's true. Schedule matters. It does matter who you are playing. And so it's going to make it tighter for him. The Zeke suspension isn't upheld. He is clearly the number 1. It's not even fucking close. But if Zeke is fucking suspended, that is going to make his life real fucking bad, and all of a sudden Philly Chris and fucking Jordan are in the mix for not only a division title, but maybe a wild card, because Brian might fall the fuck off. He's not deep. A-Rob is... I want to say this on the air right now. And if I'm wrong, I will give fucking Dallas Bryan $20 for being wrong. He doesn't have to risk shit. A-Rob is about to be a $20 million mistake, Brian. He's about to be a mistake in a goddamn fucking albatross. And so I'll tell you this. If you pay someone $20 million, he should score 300 points. If you pay someone $20 million, he should score 250 fucking points. And that's the bar. 250, and you get the goddamn $20. But he's not going to do it. And he's not going to do it because that team is a goddamn mess. And I hate ever owning anything of that fucking Jacksonville shitheads. Brian fucking works harder than any other GM in his division, and that's his edge. But the NFC is wise to his bullshit trades, and he's gonna have to pay. Going forward, Dallas Bryan is gonna have to pay. And Philly Chris, you're sitting at number 2 on my motherfucking rankings, and you're only fucking 1 move away from fucking taking this division. And today, you trade for Edelman. Okay, I'll take that as a fucking depth move. You're trying to win. I love that. But Big Ben's gonna fucking miss time. Is Flacco really your fucking answer when that fucking happens? Really? You better fucking think about that. And your first 3 weeks are fucking beyond brutal. You have the worst schedule of anybody in the IFL. It is a fucking fist fuck. Dallas, Miami, Tampa Bay, and Buffalo. You can be buried by week 4.
All right, this was a tough one for me. I gotta tell you, with the Zeke suspension having to be considered, and the fact that Philly Chris has a sneaky good offense. Marshawn Lynch, if he comes back and if he can put up a 3, it's a tough. 300 points, 250 maybe. You know,
oh, come on, dude. Come on.
Look, Lynch. Look, I like to think that there's always two possibilities. Chris has a high-powered offense. Three of the top. You know, LaShawn McCoy is going to be a top guy. Gordon is going to be a top guy. That right there gives him an edge. He's got decent linebacker or wide receivers with Eric Decker and Larry Fitzgerald, and now Julian Edelman. Linebackers, I touched on, they're good. Montez Burfict could be a 330, 40-point player. You know, he's got a decent defense. I think he can put up against Dallas Bryan, but I have to say that Bryan's going to win, and it's because of Aaron Rodgers. There's a huge gap between quarterback and, yeah, like you said, Roethlisberger's going to lose some time. He's not good away from home. It's just not good to have him as your only quarterback. Flacco is fucking terrible. I hate Flacco. He's Alex Smith, just throws the ball deep. I mean, I hate him. I just don't understand.
Sucks.
He's terrible, man. As you touched on, Dallas Bryan is very active on the trades, and he is very active on the waiver wire. So it's going to be close, but I think Dallas Bryan, even with Zeke being suspended, is going to be able to pull this off in the long run.
God, I feel fucking bad for Philly Chris with that schedule. Because he does have a good team. He does have a good fucking team, man.
He does.
His schedule is fucking murderous. There are no holes. What the fuck are you doing, Houston, Peru? You're my number 4 fucking team in this division. Are you hoping for all the injuries? Because you want to know who did that? Jacksonville Nathan. And it didn't fucking work out real well for him. And if Kirk fucking Cousins goes down, dude, what are you gonna do? You've got Kels and McCoy in the waiting game. How big is the hole? Who the fuck are you starting week 1, 2, and 3? I don't know what you're thinking, dude. Someone needs to take your goddamn keyboard away from you. Fuck this team. You just fucked it up. And I'm just fucking sick. I'm sick. Nils, go.
Ooh, boy. My number 4 is Jacksonville Nate's. And I like Nate. I like Nate a lot. He's a good guy. He writes great articles.
Nate.
Listen. Oh, listen. Nate. Listen, you remember some of those arguments Nate used to have? He fucking goes off the handle sometimes. I wish we saw more of that Nate. He's fun, but he's not around enough.
He got a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what it is. She's rubbing on his beard. fucking fingering it. So yeah. Anyway, all right.
Fingering his beard, dude. Nice.
All right. So look, all right. We had this conversation about Christian McCaffrey today. I love the guy. I don't think he's going to be somebody who's going to carry your team this year. I think his future is very, very bright. Fucking Benji looks like he's a goddamn big linebacker. I don't know. I hate Benjamin. I hate Kelvin Benjamin with a passion. As a Panther fan, I don't think he's going to get it done for him. Cooks took the hit, I think, going to New England, but we'll see with that. He doesn't have a terrible defense. No, it's not that good. I guess C.J. Mosley, K.J. Wright. Yeah, no, it's a very weak defense. It's a very weak offense. I like Nate, but I think he needs to get just active more. He needs to be more involved, make some trades. He's got some guys he could package, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold up in what I think is a very strong division.
Now, my number 3 is fucking Jacksonville Nathan. Nate just hasn't done enough to take the next step in his plan. He's always talking about his plan. Well, this is my 3rd year playing with Nate, and his plan is clear with this team. He has no excuses. This is not a team he took over. This is his team. And he likes certain guys on that. And I respect that. You get emotional attachment. It's fucking hard. We all got a Marcus Peters. But Tevin fucking Coleman should have been traded a long goddamn time ago to fucking Tennessee for a premium. Now, injuries recently have bumped your team. You very easily could have been the worst fucking team in this division. But, the suspension of Zeke, and then there was a fucking injury somewhere else, and all of a sudden you're looking fucking pretty decent. But the fact of the matter is that you might, and I want to go with keyword might, you might open 3-3. But the second half of your schedule is maybe the most fucking brutal in the league, as you face Miami, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Carolina, and Tennessee. So my question to you, Nate, is when are you going to blow this shit up? You going to wait until the end of the fucking season? Or are you going to fucking start now? And I don't think you're going to start now. I think you're going to wait until week 8. And you know what? Opportunities pass you by. You've got to jump while the iron is hot. And you just spent 8 fucking months jerking yourself, and your fucking team is not doing anything.
All right. We got Indianapolis Eric, the other wise in the league. I gotta say, I do not like his offense. It's all right. Gordon anchors it. He's a great player. Injuries are concerning. Microfracture surgery last year. Torn, I think, MCL last year. Not good. Evans is solid as they come. I do think he's in for a down year with Djax coming, but behind that, you got Rob Kelly. Okay, fantastic, Fat Rob. He's still a 2-down player. He doesn't play in a passing game at all. It's a team that may not be leading by much often. I just don't see much value in that. Decker coming off hip injury. Hip injuries are bad. If you look at any player that has gone through a hip injury, it's a long return, and it usually doesn't work out for them. Allen Hurns, maybe startable. Golden Tate, startable, definitely. But I think Golden Tate's his 3rd guy. Who behind that? I don't think that offense can win you games. Defense, linebackers are very average. He's got Bowman, who has looked a step slower this year. Bunch of mid to low 200 guys. Very good defensive ends. Buckner will move to defensive tackle. Good line. And a top safety. He's got a decent defense, but I think he needs to get some offensive players. He needs a good 4th and 5th option. Big Ben being your starter is not the best situation. He's going to miss some games. Tyrod Taylor's probably going to miss some games. He may not even be starting halfway through the season.
And I'm just going to go straight into my number 1. And the number 1, I would love to be able to say otherwise. But he's the champ. And he had an incredible run of luck in 2016. Now, he does open with a brutal fucking schedule with matchups against Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Miami, and Buffalo. Like those are fucking the best teams. Those are some of the best teams in the fucking league. Those are good fucking teams. I also have questions about what happens if Dak fucking regresses. His fucking backup is Bortles, who I'm paying $8 million to not be on my team this year. I mean, he is so fucking bad. That is the glaring mistake from year one for my fucking squad. And he thought he got a bargain at $2 million. Hey, asshole, you just fucking threw away $2 million goddamn dollars for a dude who ain't gonna start for the first fucking week. And my final fucking piece on fucking Tennessee is this. His fucking spam trades are fucking full-blown knowledge right now. Everybody knows it. They see something come in from Tennessee. They're like, I'm not even going to open that shit till I'm at a fucking secure computer at the NSA where I can open up and look at it where there's no mouse. I have to go ahead and give verbal retinal commands to delete or accept anything. And at number 2, I got Colts. And I hear what you're saying. Here's my reason why the Colts are fucking 2. And honestly, bro, I'm just going to throw it out there. You're not a wild card team. So Jacksonville, Nathan, and Houston, Peru, think on that. Eric, you have a soul-crushing first 6 weeks, dude, as you play Tampa Bay, Miami, Carolina, Tennessee, Buffalo, and Kansas City. You could be 0-6. You could be 0-6. And when Ben misses time, is Tyrod still going to be a fucking quarterback? You got Gordon and Evans, and then what?
All right, I think it's obvious Jason is still in the lead here. He's one of the best teams in the league. Top 5 for sure. It's not even close. Bell, Freeman, DeMarco, when you got that anchor in your team, you're happy. Dez and Martavis. You know, who knows how Martavis comes back, but if Martavis just doesn't come back, he still has Marquise Lee, who had a decent year last year, and Cameron Meredith, who's in line to be the number 1 in Chicago, who should be behind often. His defense is pretty stacked everywhere. Safety could be a bit better. Sean Davis could make a huge jump this year. We'll have to see there. Berry is obviously a top 10 guy, but those linebackers are very nice. Kendricks, Freeman, perfect. Brodham, it's very, very good. Brodham as your 4th is just, it makes you feel good inside. He's top heavy everywhere. If he loses Bell, Murray, here's the thing. Bell, I think, is going to be fine. I think Freeman and Murray will regress this year. I do not see them scoring what they did last year. And I know you said you like Freeman, and I like Freeman too.
I love Freeman, but I traded his ass, and he's on his 3rd team this offseason.
That's it. And listen.
And he got a concussion.
Yeah, and that's no good. And I might be a second. I would have to check on that. But yeah, anyway, Dak goes down. Or Dak doesn't play well. He's another 400-point player. You might as well start Eli Manning and fucking Alex Smith at that point, because that's, Bortles and Chad Henne behind you. I mean, it's quarterback.
Oh, God.
He should have done more to fortify his quarterback. Yeah.
So who do you got at 2?
All right, 2 is my Houston Peru. Peru could have been the number 1 guy here. He could have been. And I like some of the moves he made. I hate some of the moves he made. As a Rex Burkhead and Gillespie owner, I firmly believe one of those guys is going to be strong this year. If one of them can take the lead back, I think it's going to happen. And I think 280, 300 points is a decent score for that player. Frank Gore is a solid. I know you're going to laugh at that, but listen, I also have Ebron, so let's talk about Ebron because I'm an Ebron truther. The guy's 23 years old, younger than some of the rookies that are coming in this year. He's already got 3 seasons under his belt. He's gotten better every season. I think Ebron could outscore the guy he traded for him, Allen Robinson, easily. And you might agree with me in that because you already said Allen Robinson won't be scoring much this year. So a lot of people hated that move. I think Ebron is going to be a Greg Olson type player for his career. Not many touchdowns, but he's going to get volume. I see 80 catches for him this year. I like his linebackers, Davis Hicks, Hodges, and Humber. One of those guys is going to be the weak side linebacker. Hassan Reddick, McMillan going down hurt him. Spence has a chance to do something in Indy, but it's not looking likely. I think Peru still has a chance to make a move, which he has shown he's not scared to do. He's going to make a move to put himself in a better position. And I think he and his activity puts him above Eric and Nate for the time being.
That's cute. He's a unicorn candidate, and Ebron sucks.
Some lid on this motherfucker.
For me, at number 4, I got New York Aaron. Now, Aaron and I have been down a long road. This is not like me just being a dick to him. It just really balances down to the fact that I feel like he lacks depth on offense. He's banking on fucking Keenan Allen, which is fucking highly risky. Keenan Allen healthy is fucking amazing. The problem is that he hasn't been. And he's got $20 million invested in him, so he better be fucking healthy this year if he's going to have any chance. And I'm just not a Ty Montgomery believer. I'm just not. I just don't buy it. He's a fucking wide receiver, and it's not fucking working for me. His defense is full of fucking question marks. And paying Deion Buchanan $14 fucking million is still the most horrible fucking move of the offseason that you and fucking Prendo could have fucking put the fist to Houston and made this a goddamn 15-team league. Luckily for us, I've got Houston finishing in 4th, you son of a bitch. Now, I predict that Aaron is going to open the season at fucking 3-5. And you're going to have some hard fucking decisions, Aaron, because what happens between weeks, fucking whatever and whatever drinking, Nils drink break.
Drink break.
Whatever happens between all those weeks and all those games, there becomes a period where it's time to fucking strike if you're going to sell. And you're going to have to make the fucking decision this year whether or not you're selling or you legitimately think you can contend for the East next year.
I'm going to go down the same road. Aaron, listen, Aaron has a decent team, and if he was in some other divisions, he could win those divisions. And I touched on that. Listen, no. Look, this team is better than a lot of teams.
Nils, hold on, dude. I gotta interrupt you. I am so sick to fuck of the other division argument.
Listen, you fuck. If you let me finish my sentence.
Yeah!
Yeah, I was going somewhere and you cut me off.
It's what we do. I'm not used to a co-host.
I understand that, and I will let you pass. But here's the thing. I think Aaron, had he been in another division, could stay put, build on his team. Thing is, he's not in another division. He's in a division with 3 other strong teams. And with all that wealth of players that he has that are on 1-year deals, he should be pulling a New England mark and loading up for next season immediately, because he's not winning this division this year. And
Silent nodding.
he can get so much for these players. Keenan Allen, Doug Williams, Doug Baldwin, Mike Crabtree.
Dude,
fucking
Doug Williams. Is he still playing?
Oh, God. Fucking Jordy. They're all on 1-year deals, man. He'd come away with 8 fucking first-round picks next year if he plays his cards right. I think that's the only route Aaron can take this year.
Which brings me to my number 3 team. Well, Marf, it's just you and me now. Nils is hanging out in the fucking Lewis zone, and I've got to be happy with you because you'll be happy with 8-8. But here's the problem, Marf. You're not getting 8-8 this year. You're overinvested in NFL Rams, and who the fuck is going to bail you out? Your team is built to get stronger as the season moves on, but you're fucking all in on youth. The problem is that as your youth gets stronger, your back end of schedule is brutal. So you will sit at 3, courtesy of Aaron, and you will like it. And dude, tune in 2 weeks from now for your record.
I'm going across the pond as well. Marf. Listen, I like a lot of the things Mark did, but as you touched on, his youth is going to be a problem. Fournette has not looked great. The Jaguars have looked like shit. They're not going to be leading. He's not going to be running. It's not going to be nice. Cook has looked good. Fucking terrible profile, though, and I don't like to go to the stats often, but there's very few people with his agility scores that have been successful in this league. Gurley is, as we touched on with D. Jordan, he costs more over here, and I don't think it's going to happen. The Rams are not good. Watkins going to the Rams was very, very bad. Very bad.
Yeah.
You didn't think it could get worse, but he went to the worst case scenario. And yeah, Mark has some very solid youth. His safeties are very nice. I like his safeties. His linebackers could be a force this year, but I don't think that offense is ready to bring him to the playoffs this year. And Cam Newton, as a guy that likes the Panthers, I just don't see him repeating on that 40-point performance he had 2 years ago. It's not happening. That was one of the most efficient seasons ever. And we should know by now that is not something that translates year to year. Cam is going to maybe be a 450 player. He's an average number 1 quarterback. He's not going to lead you to a championship. I think Mark is still a year away, but as you said, we'll get stronger as this season goes on, but runs into that schedule down the road that is going to keep him from the playoffs.
Can I move on, Nils?
We can move on.
Thank God.
Fuck yeah.
The champion, in my opinion, today of this division is a superior GM. He's a leg up on everyone, and I want to go ahead and throw this out here. Fuck his face. Braff will win the East again because his offensive fucking depth is just mind-boggling. Now, he lucked out last year getting the 1, but he also lucked out trading with fucking deposed fucking GM Damian the Dickhead and got the 2, which netted him fucking that dipshit running back in fucking Cincinnati. What's the name I'm looking for,
Mixon.
dude? Thank you. Mixon. Beating Braff is going to be tough for the entire division to overcome, even with the possible fucking loss of Zeke. Okay? Now let's think about that. He might lose like the second best fucking player in fantasy and still be dominant.
True.
And he doesn't have a fucking particularly daunting first place schedule because Marf and fucking Aaron are jack dog shit. If he has any questions at all on this team, it's on D. His linebacking core is fucking suspect. And if Watt falls or doesn't return, the safeties are unproven, but that's a situation that's easily fixed. Behind him at 2, I've got Buffalo Travis. You got a solid offense, Travis. You got a big 3 that rivals Braff's. You got Howard, Ingram, and Miller. And your QB is better with Breeze. You've got a well-rounded defense, and you've got no positional glaring weaknesses. But my question to you, Travis, is are you going to fucking go ahead and push the chips all in to win in a given year? When I look at your contracts, when I look at your team, I see a team that's going to be in Buffalo for years to come unless you decide to go ahead and fucking trade him. I really feel, and I said it last year and I will say it now, that last year was your year. You were a surprise. You came out of nowhere. No one fucking expected it. And you had the opportunity with the lead in the division and you faded down the fucking stretch. And now this year, you've got a brutal first fucking 8 weeks. And so now you've got to overcome that success. That success is fucking staring you in the face, and you need to be able to go ahead and fucking stare it back down with a fucking victory. And I will tell you this, your healthy cap situation gives you an opportunity, but you better fucking reach out and you better make a fucking move.
Alright, obviously the fucking Dolphin is leading. Brad could be in a better position right now. I think had he not decided to make a ill-advised trade of Hunter for Samaje Perini.
Worst fucking trade of the fucking Vegas trip, dude.
Yeah.
That was muffins. That was muffins.
Barry, it's your fault.
Muffins! Yep.
Fucking, and now the Zeke suspension hurts. If he doesn't get suspended, I think Brad is going to coast to the playoffs. He's not going to have any trouble in this division. But if Zeke is suspended, Joe Mixon looks every bit the part. There's one big issue here. That line in Cincinnati will be one of the bottom 5 lines in the league this year. They lost 2 starters from last year, and they weren't good last year. It's going to be a shit show. Dalton has been destroyed all preseason with blitzes. He's not playing well. And this also affects one of his other players, AJ Green, who may not be getting the volume because they may not be on the field as much because Dalton does not play well under pressure. So,
is that why you traded AJ?
That's one of the reasons. That was one of my thought processes behind that. But linebacker is kind of deep. If AJ Klein can lock down a solid role, but he's doing the same things Jack is doing right now, being the Sam on the 3-down role, and Whitehead is getting pushed out in Detroit, not even going to be close. I think that Brad is going to take this handily. And
Talk to me about your number 2.
Talk to me. It's going to be Buffalo. I mean, obviously, it's the only one I ever talked about. But look, Howard, Ingram, you touched on them. I think Ingram's still going to be a solid player. The AP hype is out of control. He's fucking 32. He's played 1 season in 3 years. I don't care what you say. The guy is not going to score more points than Ingram this year. And Powell is going to be a solid player himself. If one of those guys disappoints, he can play Powell. Very solid rest of his offense with Thomas, Hunter, Doyle, Wallace, Macklin. If he can mix and match the right weeks, he's got a very good offense. Linebackers, very decent. He's got 4 starters. That's all you need. That's all you got to ask for. Safeties are good. Buffalo, as you said before, Travis, if he would make a trade or two, he could fight Braff. He could definitely take down Braff. If he can get a stud, which I think he could with all of those players on offense, and I don't know. I think that Travis needs to make a trade, and he could.
Some guys, it's always fucking next year, dude.
That's it.
Some guys, it's always next year. My number 4 team, and it really has nothing to do with the fact that I want to see him burn in infamy, is Cleveland Kyle. The first thing that I noticed with Kyle's team is the stars are truly aligning for a horrible season. He's got holdouts, like real life fucking holdouts, dude. Like that fucking sucks. It's nothing he can control, but he has real life holdouts. He has lack of veteran depth on O. He has position changes that have hurt him, which would be the fucking Raiders defensive end moving to linebacker and the holdout fucking in the Rams moving to fucking defensive end. As a playoff team, he has a brutal schedule. It's fucking brutal. It is a brutal schedule, Kyle. You're fucked. What I see with Kyle, with the biggest fucking problem, is his lack of valuations has been a major obstacle this offseason, leading to his emotional investment in players, a la Travis Kelce. And so with Travis Kelce, Kyle, I played you like a fucking flute. And in the end, you traded him for what? For Amari Cooper? That contract is one of the worst fucking contracts in the entire IFL. Amari Cooper will never play up to his contract. I'm not saying Amari Cooper won't be good. He just won't play to a $24 fucking million contract.
Okay. Can I pick 2 fourth-place teams in this division?
Oh, shit.
Is that against the rules?
Hey man, this is fucking ripping and motherfucking tearing. You can do whatever you want.
All right. To keep it steady and going, I'm just going to go the way we were. Cleveland Kyle, I will fucking throw you under the bus first. Look, that Kelsey trade, we talked about it. You DM'd me about it. You saw I was upset. I just don't get it, man. Kelsey is a proven 300-point player, and he should only get better with the loss of Macklin. I love the hype for Tyreek, and I think Tyreek is going to be a good player, but
like a fiddle.
Kelsey was a 350-point possible player this year, and you traded him away for a guy who might not hit 270. I love the talent of Amari Cooper. I think he could be one of the best wide receivers in the league. But David Carr does not stare down wide receivers. He does not force feed anybody, and that hurts Cooper in the long run because Crabtree is a good fucking player. Cordero Patterson came in, is going to be a decent player. Seth fucking Roberts only scores touchdown. His best player is T.Y. Hilton, who's good, but
he's fucked if Luck doesn't play.
Exactly, which we'll touch on the next team. His defense took a huge hit with Mac. Donald moving to defensive end hurt him. I bailed on both of those fucking players for a reason because I don't know how they're going to adjust to this situation, and Donald might not even fucking play. So set yourself up. You could spend the entire season trying to make deals to improve your outlook next year.
It's the fucking Nils. It's the 8-8 jerk off. 4 fucking teams went 8-8. 3 of them fucking made the playoffs. Fucking Mark's over there fucking stroking himself, going, "I went 8-8. I would have fucking made the playoffs too." No.
Well, let's go, Danny. I had a problem with him when I did his write up. Fucking God, man, how he has no cap whatsoever, and holes everywhere. What fucking linebackers is he starting on a weekly basis? Jonathan Casillas and Todd Davis are his top 2 guys. Darren Lee might be worth something this year, but not because he's good, just because he's going to get fucking ran at all the time. I mean, defensive end, he has 1. Addison had a decent year. He's not going to repeat that. Fucking guys chasing these points from last year. Safeties are good, decent safeties, but that offense is just barely holding on. He has McFadden, which is going to help him early in the season. But if Luck isn't there, it's not going to fucking matter. It's amazing that the 2 guys that have Luck also have Tom Savage and Deshaun.
Danny, you're at number 3 on my fucking squad. You son of a bitch. You know, if your offense is healthy, it's decent in 2015. But you have legit fucking injury concerns with Luck, Forte, Matthews, and Eifert, dude. And I just, fuck, man. Fuck. You are absent. Danny, trading into the first to get David Njoku when you needed a bevy of picks. You needed all the picks you could get. Giving up your 2nd and 3rd to get a fucking tight end? Fuck off, dude. Learn how to play the game. You're up, Nils.
Oh, I'm up. My bad. All right. Fucking A. Number 1. Matt. Hey, buddy. Listen, everybody loved your team last year. I think I was the first to say I did not, and I think we see where it landed you. Well, if I am Nostradamus, then you're looking good this year, sir. I really love Tom Brady. I have him too. I think he's going to be a stud. I love Carlos Hyde. Listen, this whole offseason with this Joe Williams and this fucking, what was the other guy? Breda. All right, I understand Kyle Shanahan, all this stuff. Carlos Hyde is good. He's proven that he is a good player. And when he was being scouted as a rookie, he was scouted to be a perfect fit for an outside zone scheme, which is what Kyle Shanahan runs. Just because he hasn't played it in the NFL doesn't mean he can't do it. I think he's going to have a huge season. He's going to catch more passes than people think. I think he's going to be a 350-point player this year. I might be crazy, but I'm optimistic. You're
I'll
all
be fucking jerking.
yeah. Listen, dude, and you got Garcon, you got Thomas, Demarius Thomas, Jimmy Graham, Rob Gronkowski. If Gronk and Graham are healthy all year, that is a super lineup you got going. You have depth at defensive end. I like your defensive ends a lot. I like your. I know you lost your boy Hyder and it hurt you, but I don't think you're gonna miss a beat for what you got. Safeties are good. I mean, probably the best safety unit in the league with Ward, Jones, Burnett, and Craven who could be a top 10 guy this year. And linebackers, look, Davis, I think, is a top 10 guy this year. Slept on, people hate him. Vince Williams could be a top 15 guy this year. Jack, let's see what happens. That's going to be big for you. But I just don't see any of these other teams being with you this year, Matt. You have my blessing. Pittsburgh Spencer. This guy, I've always liked Spencer's teams. He's got, I don't like his quarterbacks at all. Wentz and Palmer. I hate Wentz. I don't understand what people see in Wentz. The goddamn guy is average. He's just, I don't know. Maybe he makes a huge step forward, but I just think he's a glorified version of Alex Smith at the moment. And I think that's his ceiling. Palmer, if he has a comeback year, it's going to be big for Spencer. I don't know. He's fucking old and hurt all the time. We'll have to see. But he's got a decent offense. Blunt, I don't think is going to be anything special, but I do like Anderson this year. I do like Jarvis Landry. Allen Robinson is at least going to be better than what he had, and Ertz and Walker are going to be solid plays. He's got a really good defense, and that's what sets Spencer above the other two guys. And his linebackers could be, if Brandon Marshall comes back, he could have one of the top sets of linebackers in the league this year.
Yeah, Spencer's not going to do shit because he didn't go ahead and do anything this entire fucking offseason. And then people threw Kirksey and fucking A-Rob in his goddamn lap. And that's what ended up happening. Let me tell you motherfuckers how the AFC North is gonna go. It's gonna go exactly the way that it's been going this entire offseason. At number one is me, El Raven. And the reason for that isn't just because I fucking hate the rest of you. It's the fact that I have worked my ass off. And I continue to work my ass off. I have a vastly improved defense. Like last year, my defense was a goddamn joke. And that was my fault. I traded away guys that won a championship for that son of a bitch in Tennessee. Second thing is my depth on offense. Last year, I was 5 fucking deep. This year, I'm 9 or 10 deep, and I own 2 backfields, which means if an injury hits, then I'm going to be okay, a.k.a. hashtag team depth. I learned from Spencer. I'm not fucking stupid. I'm not fucking arrogant. I'm not fucking blind. I watched what he did. He built a fucking tight end fucking heavy team, and he also built a team that could sustain an injury. I saw that, and I moved that to my 2017 fucking plan. Number 2, I have my rival Pittsburgh Spencer. Your fucking linebacking core is solid as fuck, though not particularly deep. But that's not fucking really a fucking reflection of you. That's really the fact that there's 32 middle linebackers and there's 16 fucking teams, and some teams have more, and you're one of them. But you pay a particularly brutal first place schedule that's going to expose you. You've never been over 8-8 any time that we've played, and I don't expect you to make 8-8 this year.
Get ready for hell.
a god. Why don't you pull the trigger and find out?
You can go to hell, hell, hell.
In the West, my number 4 team, Nils. Are you ready? You're
I'm
gonna
ready.
be shocked.
Who is it?
Okay. Are you sitting down?
No, I will though.
Okay, sit down.
I'm sitting.
My number 4 team in the NFC West is the shitbird medal of fail winner, Arizona Jai. Jai, what a goddamn mess this is. I swear to God I could do a whole show on your team. What the fuck have you been doing, Jai? I don't care about your personal problems. I care about your fantasy team, and it's horrible. The hope of this team, of the Arizona Jais, if you will, lies in its youth. But you are a legitimate shitbird medal of fail back-to-back winner contender, dude. What the fuck are you doing? What are you waiting for? Now, if your young guys develop and a good active offseason for 2018, your future could be bright. The fact of the matter is that you're 2 years behind everybody, Jai.
I gotta go with Jai too. Listen, I like Jai. I talk to Jai a lot. I know about his issues outside of fantasy. I also know the direction he's going with his team. We talk about it often, and he admittedly says he does not have stars, and that's his biggest downfall. I think Jai has a solid group of youth that if everybody hits, this team could be fire. But he has to have everybody hit. There's no sure thing. Manuel Sanders is his best sure thing on offense.
Oh, God.
Frank Gore. Okay, Frank Gore is going to be decent this year.
9.9?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. Jai, you suck.
Bro.
Keep going.
7-9. 9-9, 9-9, 9-9, 6, and 9. Yeah.
7.9 doesn't matter. Fucking still too much.
I don't even fucking know anymore. All right. He's got, look, great young safeties. But again, year away from being anything big. Linebackers could be huge, a lot of upside, but that's Jai's whole team is upside. There is no veteran, solid, carry me and help me elite stars. And I think he could trade. He can make some trades. He's got a lot of fucking pieces. Just trade some of them. You can't start everybody. Trade some. Stop being so timid and just go for it, bro.
At number 3 in the NFC West. Josh, are you sitting down? Hey, you with the squeaky toy. Knock it off. Josh, you sitting down, buddy? You got a glass of Pinot? At number 3 in the NFC West. Hey, we've talked about this. I've got Seattle Will.
Woo!
Will. God damn it, Will. I'm sorry, but I don't buy the non-movement. I just don't. I'm sorry. That's just me. Love you as a guest. But fuck, man. No, you're not. You were a 9-7 fucking division champion. You had a lot of work to do. You're the least improved division in the team. Your offense is super fucking thin. It's going to equate to losses on the bye weeks. Cam in the pocket should concern Will. He's got a gimpy arm, bro. You better fucking believe that's a fact. Now, the only thing saving you is not a fucking super difficult first place schedule. All right? I got 2 teams I like right now, Carolina and Baltimore.
Yeah.
Will, fuck off. I love you. Shove your fist in your ass.
I thought it was going to surprise people, but you beat me to it. Seattle will. Listen, I think there's something that I don't know if Will knows, but he needs to be made aware of this. He's fucked next year in cap. This guy has so many contracts that are multi-year, that are huge, that are bad. He can't sustain. I'm not going to say I've offered him deals that he couldn't refuse. I think I've offered him some decent deals that would have helped him cut long-term cap this year and given him some more depth on offense, which he greatly needs. He has rejected those without even entertaining the thought. He's going to have 2 200-point defensive tackles once Buckner gets moved. He called me a drama queen for pointing it out 2 months ago, and now it's going to happen. I think he is too content with what he got. The guy mirror imaged his fucking team from Mortar last year, which was very conceited. I thought it was just like, oh, my team was so good, I'm just going to repeat it. He's got insurance if Murray or Bell go down, but who the fuck else is he starting? Perini has not looked great. Benjamin is fat. And Lee just got fucking hurt on a non-contact injury. And fuck Doxson, he sucks. This guy isn't going to do shit. I don't like Will's team.
My number 1 team in the NFC West by a country fucking mile. For me, it's not really that close. But what you do need, Andrew, is you need your youth to hit. But you have enough depth in the meantime with Ryan, Adams, Brown, Macklin, and Rudolph. Everything is lining up for an early season jump. You've got to fucking get off to a good start. Your linebacking core is your Achilles heel. And you might have to trade some of that youth for a fucking linebacker. But that's down the road. Your secondary is nothing to write home about. And my biggest question with Andrew is, do we trust Andrew to fucking pull this off? Like, for the last month, I've been asking myself, can I really go on air and say this over Josh? I was very comfortable with Jai. I was very comfortable with Will. But the question was, is Josh going to finish behind Andrew? And the reason why, Josh, is this. I get it. All linebackers get hurt. But for fuck's sake, 1 or 2 good ones can't hurt you. Your starting 5 and your QB are solid. You've got Free, Ingram, Jones, Landry, and fucking Pryor. But beyond that, what do you have? Do 3 fucking place kickers give you an unfair advantage? You can't keep 3 fucking place kickers! And week 6, 7, and 8 are going to determine your season. Green Bay, Rams, Tampa Bay. If you win that stretch, if you come out of the early weeks and you win the 6, 7, 8 stretch, then you have no fucking excuse. If you fucking lose there, then you're fucked.
I'm going with my boy Josh as the number one this year, and I have reasoning why. And I do think that Josh has made it much easier for Andrew to surpass him this year with his out of nowhere hatred for the IDP players. I do not understand this cause he has joined recently. I don't know what cult members he has found that have led him down this path. He's relying on a lot of guys that could easily lose their job this year on defense. And that's usually not a good idea. Granted, you can find IDP players on the waiver wire. You still need to have a few studs sitting around. Kurt Coleman may lose points this year because he's moving back to free safety. Tony Jefferson may also play free safety. That's not ideal for their points, and they're your best players on defense. Leonard Williams will be a stud. That's a given. Linval Joseph will be a stud. You're not getting led to the playoffs with those two positions. I love his offense, and that's one of the reasons I put him over Andrew. I think Freeman, Ingram, Julio, Landry, Pryor are just solid. He might be a little thin, and that's a problem when I look at Andrew. And this is my issue with Andrew right now. I don't think his defense is much better than Josh's. I know that he's got some high-quality names on there. McKinney, who scored 286 points last year. I don't think he's repeating that this year. I think he's more of a 250 player, and I think that's going to show with Watt playing again. Watt eats up tackles. Those tackles were not being eaten up last year. So there's going to be points taken away from the rest of the IDP players there. McKinney's going to be one of them. McMillan going down hurt him. Ramik Wilson is a starter for him. Carlos Dansby. Justin Houston, outside linebacker, been injured for 2 years. Vic Beasley did fucking amazing last year, but still only scored 230 points. Hicks is a solid defensive end. Wilkerson used to be fantastic, but has also been struggling in camp this year, and may not be the player he used to be. Safeties, Malcolm Jenkins and Rodney McLeod switch positions all the time. He's not a full-time strong safety like he used to be, and he's not going to be an elite player anymore. And Earl Thomas is a big play-reliant player. I just don't think Andrew did enough for his defense to put him past Josh this year.
Well, isn't that nice? I'll be back in less than 2 fucking weeks, which that show is fucking jam-packed too. So here we are. We're at the fucking finale. This goddamn video is goddamn amazing. If you've been following along, then you're gonna know exactly where we're at. We're at the best fucking division in the IFL. And I know what you're saying. You're like, I don't want to fucking hear that because fucking Luke is over there fucking all the time going, oh my god, the South, the South. Well, the fact of the matter is that the South is fucking sent 3 fucking teams to the fucking playoffs. They sent 2 teams to the conference championship. They sent the Super Bowl fucking loser. Does it hurt? To the fucking Super Bowl. They combined for fucking like 9,000 wins. And only 2 of them are going back this year. Okay? How do you like that for a motherfucking cliffhanger? Roll it.
I'm going to start at number 4, Atlanta Floyd. I mean, obviously, it's not a fucking huge fucking surprise. Your team is a fucking giant shitbowl, and you are trying to go ahead and rebuild. And I can go ahead and respect that. I can respect that as a fellow bottom feeder, bro. Your trade for Edelman today shows that you care and that you're trying to move forward. The problem for you is you are and always will be in an absolute fucking clusterfuck of a division. Nils, Carlos, and Luke are 3 of the best owners I've ever played with. You will not go 4-12 this year. You're going to go 3-13. There's my first fucking hint at next 2 weeks from now's show. Keep fighting. Things will move forward. At number 3 is Carolina Nils. Nils, I am so fucking baffled at what has happened in this offseason. I have seen the division champion just do what I saw him do when I started fucking playing with him fucking 3 years ago. He's susceptible. It doesn't mean that he can't win. He has no fucking draft picks, and I'm sorry, I don't buy into the no draft pick fucking thing. And he could get draft picks by selling off his guys, but that doesn't seem to be his plan. And when you're 3-13, there's fucking specter of going, I'm sorry, 13-3, but I was shadowing. 3-13 is fucking real. I've seen it fucking happen. I've seen it happen with this GM. And so I ask you, Nils, because you can't answer right now because you're muted, but I ask you, what's the fucking plan? Because the next two guys ahead of you are fucking on fire. And so my number one in not only the NFC South, but the NFC period is Tampa Luke. He's deep as fuck. He's got young rookies that are attractive to everybody. He's got draft picks next year, and he's ready. Okay, now let's not fucking make any fucking smoke and mirrors here. Lucas paid his dues. He was nothing. He was worst of the worst the first 2 years we played with him. And yes, he got to the NFC championship last year. But he is poised to take a run. And behind him is fucking Carlos, the defending champion. So I've got Luke, I've got Carlos, I've got Nils, and I've got Atlanta. And I'm not saying that the South can't send 3 teams back to the playoffs this year. My question to you, Carolina Nils, is why? Why will 3 teams go back this year? And I don't give a shit if you're 1, 2, or 3. Because if you're in the playoffs, you're in the motherfucking playoffs.
Fuck you. First off,
That's a big fucking. That was a big pause. That was fuck you. No, do better. Do fucking better than that.
oh, piece of shit. Listen to me. All right. Atlanta Floyd is number 4. Again, not a surprise. Fucking Blake Bortles at $14.95 million. Good God. Offense.
That was. Can I interject for a second? That was my fucking note, dude. Oh my God, Floyd. What the fuck? You're paying $14.95 million this year, and then next year you're gonna pay him like it's gonna end up being $23 million for a guy who sucks.
Cut him.
Go, Nils.
Just
God
fucking
damn it! I
cut
wish I hadn't
him.
lost my nose.
You know how much money he'd save
fuck.
if he fucking cut him right now? He'd save $6
I
million.
do, because I owned him. I owned him, Nils. I do understand it.
This is ridiculous.
God damn it.
All right. Fucking Floyd, he's done well since he started making his move toward the future. I like the Edelman trade. I think he got an underrated player in Eddie Goldman at defensive tackle, and Golston at defensive end is underrated as well. But Floyd is in a division where he just cannot compete this year. He may win 3 wins this year, as you said. I don't know if he'll win that many. It's going to be a rough go for our friend Lloyd. Okay, number 3. And I'm going to go down the same fucking route I went down last year. New Orleans Carlos. Now we can say what we want about Carlos's team and how fantastic it is. The guy got lucky a lot last year, and that's what a lot of fantasy football is. He's got Ty Montgomery. Fuck him. Sickle cell. That guy is not gonna do good. Where could get replaced? Fucking A. Jordy Nelson is at that point where he could just die. A 32-year-old wide receiver. It's not historically great. Fucking Julius Thomas is hurt all the time. Ertz is hurt all the time. His offense is okay. David Johnson anchors it. David Johnson misses any time, he's fucked. And let me tell you this, David Johnson is going to score 80 points less this year anyway. I just don't see it. He's going to score less. There's going to be more distribution of the ball to other players because it obviously didn't help them last year with him getting the ball that much. They fucking suck. So, defense. Shazier and Vince Williams. Shazier's going to get hurt. We know that. Juan is a fantastic player. KJ Wright is hurt right now, and there is very little info, which leads me to believe it may not be good. Calais Campbell. I don't know if he's ever going to do what he did in Arizona, but he's still a solid player. Tuitt is an underrated defensive end. Williams is an okay defensive tackle. Solid safeties. But Carlos is a step behind the rest of the guys in this division. I will go with number 2, and that guy's name is Carolina Nils. I'm not going to be the guy that's going to say that I'm the best. I have some issues that have to go correct for me this year, and I know that. I, in my opinion, have the top quarterback. You have him as well. Tom Brady's going to be fire
Did you just
this
go
year.
number 2 over number 1?
Fuck, I did, man.
You're fucking fired. Because
I'm
let me tell
fired.
you something. There's 2 fucking guys that make me roster bait, dude. I don't roster bait. But when I fucking look at Bosa and fucking that other motherfucker Barnett, I just start fucking jerking off all over the screen, dude.
Woo-hoo.
Okay? That's what you're fucking facing. That's
Alright.
what you're facing. So start with your number 1 and give him his props.
I will give Luke his props. Luke has a fine team. Luke also has some question marks. And
He does, doesn't he?
He
Now
does.
I know why my notes have issues. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but no fucking Andrew Luck, and you're fucked.
yes,
Go, Nils.
Andrew Luck could miss some time, and he may not be himself this year. That would be a fucking big blow to Luke. And I don't want to say it, but this injury has a lot of similarities to what happened with our boy Peyton Manning a few years ago. It's just very ominous. Very ominous. But he's relying on Dalvin Cook to do something this year. I don't expect it to happen this year. That offensive line isn't good. Say what you will.
Dalvin Cook's a beast.
He's a look,
You're on crack. You're on crack.
I don't see it.
And to me, Dalvin Cook is the guy of the draft.
I don't see it. I think Latavius Murray is going to do more than you think when he comes back.
What?
I
Really?
do.
Yay! I own Latavius,
They
dude.
paid
Okay,
him. He's getting paid $5 million this year. Now, here's where Luke could run into issue. Gronkowski and Eifert, injury prone. I don't like to use the word.
go
but
fuck
let's
yourself.
be honest.
Gronkowski's fine. Gronkowski's fine.
Gronk has more injuries than fucking. I can't even tell you. That guy is always.
Do you know that one of my residents is best friends and grew up with Gronkowski?
Get the fuck out. Is his name Mojo Rowley?
No.
Fuck.
And I will tell you that I've been asking him, and it's very possible Gronk will be delivering a message on my shows shortly. Very possible.
Oh, get
But-
the fuck out.
Gronk is good. So if you're counting on Gronk to have issues, you got problems.
I'm not counting on Gronk to have issues. I just think that you have to be aware of the fact. Now, Delaney, I think, is going to be a solid player this year. I don't know if he will score 250 again. I think he will score a little bit less, but he's still a solid tight end. His defense is great. People are all right. Bosa could be the next coming of Watt. There's a 90% chance he's not. He's going to score 260, maybe 280 this year, and that will be his ceiling. I'm not buying into the hype that he's going to be
He's a beast. He's a beast.
He could be a beast.
At 260, 270, he's a fucking beast.
That's still
There's only one Watt.
exactly.
There's only one Watt. And those days are gone. He
Now-
is not that Watt anymore.
All right, now he's got Barnett and Allen, who I think are both going to outscore Anza this year.
Nils, you gotta wrap this up, dude, because I got
All
way
right.
too many beers in me, dude, and I'm just like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, dude.
All right. Do you want me to be honest? I'm gonna win this fucking division, but I don't like karma, so I was just gonna put myself at number 2. But fuck Luke, he's got too many question marks at linebacker. Zach Brown wasn't even fucking starting until last week. He may not start all fucking season. Fuck him. Safeties are all hit or miss. Not happening. Carolina is going to win this division because it has Sean fucking Lee. It's got goddamn Odell Beckham Jr., Greg Olsen, Jordan Reed. And Jordan Reed, let me tell you, he's only going to be injured in preseason this year. Not one injury all season. He's going to score 360 points this year. That fucking guy is going to make you all look silly because I've offered him to half this fucking conference this year. And
IFL, this is El Raven cutting fucking Nils off before he cuts his own throat off. We will be right back.